The research that we conducted for our project is investigating the motivation of employees. We chose to use the employees working in the student hotel in Amsterdam. Two motivational theories that we focused on were both Daniel Pink's theory on autonomy, mastery, and purpose, and the other was Maslow's hierarchy of needs that includes physiological needs, safety needs, love and belongingness needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization.
Our goal of this investigation was to broaden our understanding of motivational techniques used to improve employee morale in the student hotel and outside of it, as well as to prove the relevance of the motivational theories. So we came up with the following question: to what extent does the student hotel in Amsterdam use intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to motivate its employees? We did the interviews, and this is how they went.
We took out the three most relevant questions that give a clear understanding of what our interviews were like. The first is, what if any rewards you got from working with TSH? If you got rewards, are they a large part of the reason why you are still with TSH? The second is, how freely can you act over a certain task? Does this feeling or lack of feeling of autonomy contribute to self-motivation? And the third is, does TSH provide any employee development programs? If so, do you think these make you feel more confident in your work? And does it improve your way of working? In the first question regarding rewards, one of the interviewees explained that TSH uses an employee recognition system which encompasses intrinsic motivation, as she further elaborated on the importance of positive feedback and its beneficial effect on employee motivation. In the second question regarding autonomy, the interview expresses that employee autonomy is present in TSH, however, structure should always be maintained throughout the business. She further elaborates on how autonomy has assisted in achieving intrinsic motivation, as less restrictions are brought upon the workforce. In the third question regarding employee development programs, the interviewee stated that TSH's management team is enthusiastic about its employees' growth and development, even though this might not be as evident as it should be from their employees. This may signal to TSH that employee awareness should be an aspect to focus on.
In the first two interviews we conducted, we asked all kinds of questions about motivation. How long they've been working for the student hotel, what makes them feel motivated, if they have some sense of autonomy, and if there are any ways of developing yourself within the company. We noticed that the first question, which is about why people are working for the student hotel and for how long, was a good opening. It gave us an indication of why people were working for the student hotel and made the employees feel as though we were interested in their story. We noticed that there were too many questions, which resulted in people not having the time to answer us. So we felt that if we shortened the number of questions, more people would be willing to do an interview. We also noticed that the rewarding system of the student hotel is mainly intrinsic rather than extrinsic. So we decided to adjust the questions and ask more deeply about the intrinsic rewards in TSH. We realized that we didn't ask much about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, specifically about their minimum needs to keep working for the company. And lastly, we found that we didn't really introduce our questions, which resulted in less structural answers.
We chose the two following questions as examples that seem to give us an understanding of what we ask and how we change them from the previous interviews. First question, regarding autonomy and responsibilities, an interviewee stated that he had lots of freedom on work delivery. He said as long as he handled it decent work, that no one would criticize on the process. Our second interviewee also referred to the autonomy he had by not having a structure or fixed way of doing things, showing how flexible and dynamic can be TSH. The positive environment adding to their motivation and how this was a huge part of TSH's strategy and beliefs was constantly mentioned throughout the interview. In the second question regarding the awareness of employee development, an interviewee mentioned that employee development should be sought by individuals, making it responsibility of the employee rather than being management responsibility. He further explained how TSH might want to improve this through implementing different programs or activities such as the use of Ruby, an app that helps different employees connect and share.
After the third and fourth interviews, we conducted the second analysis on the benefits of modifications and findings. The answers were more precise because our questions were more detailed. People gave us more information about themselves, so we got a clear sense of what they felt personally rather than what the company enforced on them. This information was more useful for answering our research question because it was employee specific and we were more able to highlight the motivation of specific employees in the student total. Because our questions were more detailed, there was less confusion as to what they should be answering, and they didn't tend to go on about irrelevant things. We found that many employees tended to be motivated through the positive environment that seemed to be embedded in the student total's work experience. The opportunities that seemed to be available for employees in the student total also seemed to be a factor that positively affected motivation, as they felt a sense of purpose and which resulted in motivation for them to reach their goals.
Our research question is, to what extent does the student hotel in Amsterdam use intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to motivate its employees? After interviews 1 and 2, we found answers to a large part of our research question, but we are still not satisfied. We changed a few questions and left out a few which didn't lead to any useful outcomes. And after conducting interviews 3 and 4, we were satisfied. The outcome was, in our opinion, much better than the first, with detailed answers and the additional information we needed to be able to answer our research question and have clear examples within it.